Collective, it's Belena with Aspire to the Self and the Astrology Energy Forecast. This will be for the week of January 12th to the 18th of 2026. Thank you so much for clicking onto my video. If you're a returning member, subscriber, or viewer, welcome back, Soul Family. It's good to see you guys again. I hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for all your likes, your shares, your comments, subscribes, super thanks, and donations. I truly appreciate them all. And if you're new here, welcome. It's good to see a new face. Please keep in mind, okay, I do pull oracle cards. These are general oracle card readings. Okay, this week it'll be for the new moon in Capricorn to provide you with the overall theme. It's not going to resonate with everyone, okay, and it's not supposed to. So please take what resonates and leave the rest. Please don't try to make the story fit if it doesn't fit. If it's not resonating with you, it just means I'm not picking up on your energy, which is perfectly okay. And along those lines, in the areas of legal, law, finance, health, mental health, please know that I'm not an expert in those areas, nor do I claim to be. And if I mention them at all, it is either what my intuition is picking up on or is literally on the cards themselves. However, if it truly resonates for you, I highly encourage you to speak to those experts in those areas of expertise. I am also the author of V. Ulrich, of both fairy tales in my hand here, The Princess and Her Inner Voice, which is very important for children about their intuition, what it is, how it speaks to them, and how if they listen to it, it can help them to overcome all obstacles, help them to heal from all traumas, as well as get them to their happy ending in whichever way that looks for them. It is a very self-love and self-worth based fairy tale. As well as The Dark High Priest, The Prostitute Queen Unseen. It's a fairy tale written for adults about healing and overcoming spiritual warfare and narcissistic abuse from family members, lovers, and friends. It's told the viewpoint of a divine feminine who realizes that her own mother has cursed her life and tried to offer her up to an entity in exchange for wealth and cheat anybody and everybody on the payroll to help her to accomplish this. So of course, this divine feminine had to cut off everybody she's ever known, cleanse her energy, reclaim her power, and heal so that way she could be in line with her purpose. Both these fairy tales are in the bard format, which means that they rhyme. So think like the content of Grimm's fairy tales and the format of Dr. Seuss. They're written and illustrated in such a way to heal and appeal to your inner child as you read them. They're short or sweet, they inspire hope, and they make you feel good as you read them. The audiobooks have been released. We attach this video for convenience. However, if you feel so truly inclined to purchase the physical copies, thank you, thank you, thank you. They do make great gifts, and in the world, we need them now more than ever, okay, because they're something that'll help instill that hope, and the world needs hope. Let's be real. The world, specifically the United States, needs hope. So you can find them on online retailers, Amazon, Walmart, and Barnes & Noble, to name a few. The Princess and Her Inner Voice is in its second edition print, which means that the autograph, the first edition, as well as my products could be found on my website, which is www.aspiraltotheself.com. All the information in the description box below for your convenience, as well as all of my social media platforms and pages, so that way you do not get scammed by people or pages pretending to be me. As always, I begin each reading and forecast with a prayer that just provide an overall energetic boundary for what I will have to come through as I channel these messages for you guys. I call upon God, Banja, great goddess Morgan 23, Lu, the archangels, my ancestors, and the seen unseen. Please only allow in this reading and forecast what I call upon, which is high vibrational energy and frequency. If any low vibrational anti-space energies try to come through, try to ask, project, open a portal, remote, view your belonging spirit in the past, present, and the future, I ask that you block, bind, unblind, and immediately return to center 100-fold, which can be full consent to intervene and to intercede on my behalf if dirty and fit. Please allow me to see what you want the collective to know if I clear concise messages. If anyone tries to abuse technology in any kind of way in the past, present, and future by trying to take a screenshot, ask, project, open a portal, remote, view your monitoring spirit in the past, present, and the future, I ask that you block, bind, unblind, and immediately return to center 100-fold, which can be full consent to hold them accountable and bring them to justice in your way. Please protect me, this channel, the video, and the viewers I deliver this finely guided message. Any curses, hexes, evil eye, black magic, witchcraft, bindings, that they be blocked, bind, and blinded, and immediately return to center 100-fold. The sinner's mask ripped off, they'll be able to hide all their lies, deceit, and ill intentions will become exposed and publicly known. All right, my lovely and beautiful collective, I really appreciate your guys' patience as I get through the much needed spiritual and legal disclaimers that I have to say at the beginning of each video. All right, I have, of course, as always, the frequency playing in the background, and I really feel like it's needed now more than ever, and I'm unapologetic as fuck about it, because, if you are not in the United States and you're a viewer, hello, my country needs all the high vibration it can get. And for those of us who are high vibrational, we're in the pits, man. Like, we're in the pits with all the low vibrational stuff. We're having the astrological themes of World War II and the French Revolution play out, and it's playing out specifically in the United States area of the world, like before it was Europe, and now those astrological themes are in the United States. And we need to, I don't want to say we need to get rid of all the low vibrational people, but we need at least a safe space from the low vibrational people whose hatred, their shadow is heavily illuminated right now. Like, let's just put it that way. Like, that's the nicest way I can say it. It's like, we're seeing here the universe is exposing to everyone essentially the evil in the world and people's darkest and truest sides at the moment. So like the frequency that I play at the back of my videos, it ain't ever gonna stop. I'm gonna promise you that, because like it can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop, right? Like it can't stop, because like one, you know, like if you're a spiritualist and you're of the light working variety, you are heavily attacked by the force of darkness because they don't want to give up their power, their control they've had when, you know, the earth was essentially overrun with 3D consciousness, fear, loss, lack, victim mentality, right? Like scarcity mindset, which is a theme that plays out this week, okay? As well as rebellion. So I'm talking about this stuff because it is going to play out towards the end of the week where, you know, we have Lilith that sextiles Pluto, and that's a theme of rebellion. There's going to be many opportunities for rebellion and uprising, people wanting independence and wanting to feel empowered, okay? So like, and seeing the events that keep ramping up, it's like it's going to be no surprise, okay? But if you're of the light working variety, you already get attacked because the darker people, they feel very, very threatened and triggered by us because, you know, we manifest in the correct way. It's like they hate us, but they want to be us. It makes no sense because, like, if you were super, super happy with being a dark practitioner, you're super great at that, right? Like, you just love it. Then why would someone who can manifest without having to sacrifice their unborn child or, you know, kill an animal or things like that, why would that bother you? Unless you truly had no power on your own and need people like us, who the high vibrational crowd that can manifest on their own, why do you need to steal energy from us then if you're so powerful yourself, right? But that's why. And I mention that because I am going to be doing something new here in February of 2026. So I encourage you to keep your eye on that community tab for that announcement. But again, it's like I'm going to be doing things, but I'm going to have protections in place for my people, for my high vibrational crowd here, my light workers, my starseeds, my chosen ones, my earth angels, my divine feminines, my divine masculines. Like, I'm going to have a safe space for you, okay? Because your vibe attracts your tribe. And we're going to create a place where, you know, there's a little reprieve from the low vibrational world struggling for control as humanity and the world shifts to 5D consciousness. Okay, that's where we're headed. We're in the age of Aquarius. That's where we're headed. We're headed to 5D consciousness. So just bear with us, okay? And you are so welcome that as you listen to this, your crown chakra, your third eye, your throat are going to be heavily cleansed. So that way you can get your own intuitive messages. Shit, you don't even need to listen to the frequencies that I have on my playlist called Spiritual Wisdom and Sounds That Heal. You don't even need to listen to that because it's playing in the background for you. So as you listen to me, you're essentially putting your higher chakras into alignment and surrounding yourself in high vibration. You're so welcome. Now, getting into the forecast, we always start with the retrograde energy. So the energy that is around us for an unprecedented amount of time. Okay, it's typically like a couple of weeks. Like, say, like Mercury is the one that has the least amount, or it's for, you know, several that can even go into another year. So getting into it, we have two. We have Uranus retrograde, which will be in retrograde until February 3rd of 2026. This is where we're blocking old patterns, trusting our inner guidance, and creating radical change when it comes to our material aspects. Then you have Jupiter retrograde, which will be in retrograde until March 10th of 2026. This is where we're healing old wounds, reevaluating what truly brings us comfort and security, and finding inner peace. Now, getting into the Oracle card, this is going to be for the new moon in Capricorn. And what you need to know about that is, one, Capricorn is one of the detriment signs of the moon, which means that the energy is weakened and disharmonious. Okay, so it's going to be a weakened power of the moon. So say if Capricorn wasn't the detriment sign, it would be a high time for you to set your intentions, to pursue your ambitions, to take on leadership roles, you know, for your discipline to be at its highest, okay? But it's not, it's the detriment. So it means your discipline could be a little weak in this day, but because it is a new moon, it is a good time to sit down and set intentions for this lunar cycle for your long-term plans and like how you're going to accomplish those. Now, getting into the cards here, let's start. Spirit, what do you want the collective to know during this new moon in Capricorn? What do you want the collective to know during this new moon in Capricorn? What do you want the collective to know during this new moon in Capricorn? Inspired action. Angel number 222, which is the angel for bringing balance to all areas of your life. Focus on inspiration. The action steps will flow effortlessly. Again, that's like what you're doing there this new moon. You're setting your intentions here, getting inspired. And for you to manifest, you need to visualize daily. Practice visualization so that you can call forward your desire and it'll soon be a tangible experience in your current reality. And know that you are worthy of what it is that you are trying to manifest. You're healing self-worth wounds. Tell us about this new moon in Capricorn, Spirit. Tell us about this new moon in Capricorn. What do you want the collective to know about this new moon in Capricorn? So we have here that right now you're turning inward. You're letting go of outdated beliefs. It's a time of self-discovery for you. That you are long-term planning, okay? You're building a stronger foundation, so don't take any kind of risk. There is one day this week, though, where you are encouraged to take a leap of faith, to step outside the lines of conformity, so that way you can have more freedom for your life, as well as to be further in alignment with your divine purpose, okay? But essentially, you're letting go of outdated beliefs, and you're building strong foundations, okay? So, I mean, that's definitely reflective of Capricorn energy and new moon energy. That you're speaking your truth. Your words hold power. Okay, so just know that. Your words hold power. But you need to be mindful of the words that you do use because of the power that they hold. Trust your inner knowing. That's definitely a message this week as well. Trust your inner knowing. Don't be going along with the crowd. Crowds equal death. Crowds are death magic, okay? Crowds are death magic. Which means that people can be possessed. Like crow dead, they say that it's crow, like the crow, and then dead, like dead energy. So don't be following the crowd. Trust your inner knowing. Spirit, what do the collective know about this new moon in Capricorn? That you're going to be going with the flow, cleansing out your energy. Make sure you keep up with your spiritual hygiene, okay? Because your path is going to be illuminated forward to you. Again, it looks like your inner knowing is going to be telling you what you need to do, what you need to know, what kind of intentions that you need for plans and actions that you need to take. I saw the card Freedom. Spirit, what do you want the collective to know during this new moon in Capricorn? What do you want the collective to know during this new moon in Capricorn? That you're going to essentially create something new. It's going to be something that is expressed from your soul. And you may need to travel, go somewhere, go do something. When you have uncontrolled feelings. Because there's going to be something unknown here, some kind of hidden truth behind any kind of stuck energy. Your ancestors are going to be telling you that you need to isolate. That's going to be what's right for you, and to focus on joy. And let go of the urgency when it comes to going through this transformation. You may need to even change location. 222, again, the angel number for bring a balance to all areas of your life. You may need to spend some time in nature. Like you need to go out in nature to align your energy here, to put yourself back into alignment. Let go of the urgency of trying to be in a specific period or timeline or phase of your transformation. It'll come when it comes. Like be in your feminine receptive energy. You may need to isolate to regroup. If you're dealing with any kind of stagnation, just know that you're in a transitionary period and the hardship can't last forever and it's not going to. Okay, good fortune will return and you're going to be creating something new here. And this week's energy is very, very heavy with Chiron this week, where you're transmuting a wound into a blessing. So with the creativity being there, you're creating something new from any kind of uncontrolled feelings that you're having right now. Again, like anybody in the United States has a plethora of kind of feelings right now. You're going to be taking that wound and transmuting it into a blessing for yourself. Okay, now getting into the daily energy, okay? So January 12th, Sun square Chiron, Venus contra parallels Jupiter. Your high drive to complete your goals will assist with overcoming obstacles to transmuting a wound into a blessing, okay? Keeping to yourself today will do more for your healing and inner peace than to be around other people. So again, we just had the cards that validated that. Like you're going to want to isolate this week. You're going to want to keep to yourself because you're healing. And healing doesn't need a crowd, right? Like healing is a solo experience. Introspection. You're letting go of outdated beliefs. And the themes this week is self-worth and scarcity mindset. Like feeling like there's not enough, right? And like I can't even like... It's like it all points back to that to me. It's like scarcity mindset. Equal rights for everyone doesn't mean less rights for you. Okay? That's not what it means, right? January 13th, Mars squares Chiron, Moon in Sagittarius, Mercury quintiles Neptune. The energy is favorable to utilize your innate direct communication style to share your ideas. Your strategy to accomplishing your goals will assist with overcoming obstacles to transmuting that wound into a blessing for you. Your intuitive focus will draw you to the information that you need to provide more freedom for your life. Heavy Sagittarius energy is going to provide you with optimism. You're going to be studying things, reading things, hopefully you read, and it's going to provide you with more freedom for your life. January 14th, Mercury oppositions Jupiter. Pursuing arguments with an authoritarian communication style, which means like you're commanding people, you're my way or no way, right? Will disrupt both your inner peace as well as counteract any kind of healing of any kind of wounds. So as long as the way that you're speaking and any kind of arguments is focusing on peace and unity for all, you will win that argument. But if you're trying to command people, you don't command shit. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that, and I'm not sorry if I hurt your feelings. Like, you don't command shit. You don't own nobody. You aren't a power over anybody. Like, telling people what to do and trying to act like you're a superpower is going to be detrimental to your peace, and it's going to be detrimental to any kind of healing. So don't, right? Don't. January 15th, Venus sextile Saturn, Venus trines Uranus, Mars contrapells Jupiter. Too much focus on achieving your goals will disrupt your peace. You got to have some time for play. Again, joy is fun. Let go of the urgency. You're in a new period in your relationship where your discipline and commitment will block old patterns. There will be many opportunities to enforce emotional boundaries. That's a heavy energy this week too, of enforcing emotional boundaries. January 16th, Mercury squares Chiron, Moon goes in the sign of Capricorn. Communicating directly will overcome the obstacles to transmuting a wound into a blessing. However, the energy again will be disharmonious to taking any leadership roles or pursuing your ambitions. January 17th, Venus sextiles Neptune, Sun sextiles Saturn, Sun trines Uranus. You're in a new period of utilizing your discipline to block old patterns, as there will be many opportunities to shatter any kind of illusions, as well surrounding attaining your goals, as well as trying out new ideas of independence, unconventionality in relationships. Venus also goes into Aquarius this day until February 9th of 2026. I'll attach that reading to this video for you guys. Deep friendships turn into lovers, independence, and unconventional relationships. So it's like wanting to do things that's not by the standard. Setting, like doing what works for you, right? What works for you. January 18th, new moon in Capricorn, Mercury sextile Saturn, Mercury trines Uranus, Pluto sextiles Lilith, and moon in Aquarius. So you got the moon in Aquarius and Pluto sextile Lilith. It's a recipe for disaster. Recipe for disaster, guys. There will be many opportunities to directly communicate your emotional boundaries, as well as to shatter any illusions. However, this will cause stress with pursuing your goals. There will be many opportunities for society to shift into rebellion and pursuing independence and empowerment. Again, not a surprise. Astrologically, we are repeating the same themes during World War II and the French Revolution. And the country that is now going to have this disruptive period, the Tower moment, if you will, in tarot, is the United States. So Europe had its Tower moment in the 1940s to rebuild itself to the glory that is Europe now, where the people are mostly content. The United States, it's our turn, right? Where the people are discontent and we've got power grabs going on by our government. So like, Americans need a, they say we're a melting pot here and we got many different ethnicities and backgrounds in our lineage. We need to utilize that French in us. You know what I'm saying? When the American people really need to pull out that French, because historically French people, I have to explain this because apparently it's not obvious or people don't read or know history, so like I have to say this, but it should be obvious. But the French don't play around with their government. You try to step on any of the French people's toes, you're overthrown and you're dead. Like, United States, we overthrew a dictator and then reinstated one for us. So, and now we're threatening other countries that should be threatened. And the laws and the Constitution don't matter. I mean, you can't say it does when our leader, who does not reflect me, does not speak for me, does not reflect my beliefs in the slightest bit. Y'all know about my integrity. My integrity doesn't switch up no matter who's in power, what gender they are, what position or title they hold. My integrity doesn't switch up. My president could offer every single person $1 million and I'd still reject it because he's a pedophile. That's how dead set I am in my beliefs, right? Like, my integrity's solid. My integrity's solid. I'm not a turncoat. I'm not an opportunist in that way. Like, wrong is wrong and there is divine judgment and justice and it fucking waits for nobody, right? So for the next 16 years, we're going to have the revolution, and it is fated for Trump, the President of the United States, to lead it. And by lead the revolution, it doesn't mean that he is here to lead us to make America great. His rule is going to be what starts the revolution, much like how Hitler is what reformed Germany and the German population after, he was dealt with. I saw this thing where they said that they showed all the Nazis, all the people that supported Hitler, they made them watch the treatment of people and take them to internment camps and make them see what they did to people, to widen their eyes. Like, it's hard to justify that when you see it. But I mean, we're living in the age of technology. We're seeing it, and we're so desensitized to people that, like, people will justify any kind of red rum or anything, right? And it's astonishing because, like, my country's founded by rebels, people who couldn't stand authority. Like, we literally, like rebelled over a tax. Like, we're taxed like 40%, and they take all of our money, and it goes, they've literally cut it. They've cut funding from every kind of public service. So my money, the American money, is being put into fraud. There's a lot of fraud going on. There's a lot of, literally the people in our government are part of one of the biggest rings of moving people around. I mean, it's literally the files that they try to redact but couldn't, right? So, like, it's a scary time. But what I'm going to tell you guys to do is, one, the universe is showing you the ugliness of people. So, like, you're seeing who would be the people to out you to the Nazis. Okay, you're seeing that. You're seeing who would be the person to turn you in, the Anne Frank type of story. You're seeing the exact kind of people who would do that to you. You're seeing the exact kind of people who, are so stuck in their woundedness that they want to harm other people because they blame other people for where they feel deficient. Like, they're looking at anybody and everybody to blame except for the people they should blame, which is the government, right? Like, quit blaming it on, like, poor people. Quit blaming it on women. Quit blaming it on marginalized communities, right? They're not your problem. But it's like, people have such ingrained hatred. And, like, we talk about generational curses all the time. There's generational hatred. And it's by way of, like, racism, sexism, misogyny, right? Like, people essentially stuck in that scarcity mindset, the loss and lack mentality, having money wounds, and then projecting on anybody else. Like, wanting people to be unalive because they've carried that wound with them for so long. Like, it's okay for you to outgrow people. If they don't align with you, that's fine. But how you're going to fare during this next revolution, because it's here, it's coming. Like, it's literally speaking, our vice president today said that he was going to allow our version of the Gestapo to go door to door to search for the brown people, which violates our Fourth Amendment in our Constitution. So, that being said, like, you're going to have to make decisions for yourself for your own safety. I'm not saying live in fear. Your vibration will control a good part of it, but your vibration is going to essentially irk people's shadows even more, illuminate to them their wounds. Again, your words hold power. But it's like, you disrupt your own inner peace by arguing with these people. You disrupt your inner peace to try to change people who are unwilling to be changed. You can't save everybody. Just like in World War II, when, evil just ran rampant in the world. You couldn't change people that didn't want to be changed, right? Good still prevailed, but it required sense. It required listening to your instincts, which is to not be around people who are so openly hateful, who have that evil, who are willing to look the other way. So like I said, I don't care. My president could offer everybody $1 million, and I still wouldn't be able to let go of the fact that he needs to be dethroned because he's a predator. That's all it takes for me. Like, nope. How are you in this leadership position if you are not a leader? The leadership position is supposed to be the best and brightest of us, not the dumbest, not the most criminal, right? So I'm telling you guys that you need to listen to your intuition, because that's going to be how you fare during the next 16 years. Is who are you willing to be around? Like, with social media, you see it very blatant. See the people who are celebrating the death of other people. And both sides. You know, Democrat, Republican, see who's celebrating the death of other people. See who are believing in the power grabs, believing in the authority of hurting others. Even though if you allow your government to hurt others, it will eventually hurt you, as we've seen, right? Once they take that power, it's hard to get it back. And it's going to require drastic action. So the United States time is now. It's coming, guys. Like, I know you feel it. It's coming, and you can't control everyone else. You can only control you and how you respond to it. Don't be getting arguments with people. Just ghost, cut it off, and like never associate with them again. That's gonna be for like your own safety. And I say that, like, it don't matter what your title is, what they are to you, say if it's family members, lovers, friends, whatever, it don't matter. It's not gonna matter. Divine judgment moves quietly. And justice is coming. I mean, you're seeing it. Justice is coming in every kind of sense in the word, okay? People are going to get exposed. And they're going to be held accountable for it. Like, I'll give you an example. Charlie Kirk's death. People quoting direct words from Charlie Kirk got fired from their jobs. A guy sued. A professor sued. Not only did they give him his job back, but they paid him $500,000 for the hassle. So justice is coming. And essentially, this is a big lesson for us all. Like it literally says it astrologically, is that it is a huge lesson for us all. Like to be resilient and to persevere. But it's like keeping your beliefs, not being swayed, not being willing to look the other way, right? Like you got a whole party out there that's willing just to look past all the atrocities a person commits because they might get one or two things that they like. And it typically has to do with oppressing other people. It's never like, oh, well, we just got like a lot of money. Like, no, we didn't. Like, if anything, Americans are broker and we're more in debt than we were before. With the addition of now we've got internment camps, or we did, and then they were shut down and those people vanished. Over 170 of our citizens were deported to places they're not from. They're actual citizens. You have people deported here that are deported to places that they've never originated. I believe the number was 750,000 people were deported, but they weren't criminals. They were just people that were here, right? Like, we've got women dying from like ectopic pregnancies because, you know, we're so pro-life until that baby gets here. I didn't mean to go super political with you guys, but like astrologically, it's here. Like, it's here. Like, and I make no apologies for it. There's right and there's wrong and there's good and there's evil right now, and like you're seeing it. It's a shadow. And the shadow is over the US. Before it was in Europe, like every country has its time, right? We had China, we had Europe, we had Africa, we had the Middle East. Like every country has its time where the shadow's illuminated and you see the ugliness of the people within. It takes recognition. It takes like knowing who you can trust and who you can't. If they're willing to look away because they get something out of it, then you know not to be around those people who have no humanity or no integrity. And that's going to be what saves you. But also, like, don't be getting pointless debates. You're arguing with people who are either energy vampires or they're so unhealed that, like, you're going to disrupt your whole inner peace. You're going to counteract any kind of healing you've done, right? Like, it's a time for you to listen to your intuition, which brings me to the chakra, which is your third eye. Your third eye is your intuition. Okay, it's like how you obtain and send pictures, symbols, colors, and images that represent your reality. It's how essentially your soul speaks to you, okay? It utilizes the sacral chakra, okay? So right down here, which is your creativity, your sexuality, your self-worth, which we are healing self-worth. It's also your inner child, okay? It works hand in hand with your sacral chakra to help you to manifest, which it's a manifesting week, okay? With that new moon coming up. And this week, as it's being filmed, we just had the 111 portal. So like we had the 111 portal and then we have that new moon. So we had the super full moon in Cancer, we had the 111 portal, and now we have the new moon in Capricorn. So it's a highly manifestive time right now. So set your intentions of what you want. Again, like really know what it is that brings you security and comfort in your life, you know, and manifest that. And don't be surprised though, like if you're asking, you know, the all high or the universe for more money, don't be surprised when your life gets disrupted to put you in the places and situations to get you what it is that you want. It typically happens that way. Like You ask for more money and all of a sudden you're discontent at your job, or something major happens in your life and then you get what you want. You ask God to expose like all the enemies in your life and it's literally fucking everybody. But you gotta cut out the old tumors that's draining the life out of you to make way for the new. So you gotta listen to your intuition, guys. You gotta listen to it. Like I said, my book is for all readers. The Princess and Her Inner Voice, it tells you all about it. Listen to it, read it, you know, like it'll give you some clarity. Also listen to 852 hertz, which is the frequency for your intuition, or listen to 144 hertz, which is the frequency for high vibration. It'll sound very high pitched. It's like the sound that you hear when your ears ring, which is typically you're getting a message from the angel. So it's a very high pitched ringing sound, which is part of the blend of frequencies that plays in the background. It's 144 hertz, 852 hertz, and then 963 hertz and 741. So like throat, third eye, crown, high vibration. Okay, so make sure you listen to that. And as you've been listening to me, you've been cleansing those chakras out. So you're so welcome. All right, guys, I hope I was able to provide you clarity of what you typically know, as well as what to expect this week. Thank you for watching. If you like my vibe in this video, please like, subscribe. If you helped out the channel, please stay tuned for a brief little snippet of the Dark High Priestess and Prostitute Queen Nancy.